Okay, so we all think we know Halloween, right? Trick-or-treating, goofy costumes, scary movies. But some people take this holiday to a completely different level. Today, we're going to dive into the most incredible, record-smashing, and honestly, just plain bizarre Halloween events the world has ever seen. So, just how big are we talking here? Like a neighborhood decorating contest? A citywide parade? Oh no, not even close. We're talking about things so massive, so over the top, they literally made history. Let's start with the most iconic symbol of the season, right? The pumpkin. Well, in 2021, an Italian farmer named Stefano Catruppi grew a pumpkin that weighed an unbelievable 2,702 pounds. That's 1,226 kilograms. And yup, that is the certified world's heaviest pumpkin. Now, to really wrap your head around that number, this one single pumpkin, it weighed more than a small car. You could get 15 grown men to stand on a giant scale, and this pumpkin would still be heavier. It's just an absolute monster of a gourd. But believe it or not, that colossal pumpkin is just the tip of the iceberg. So let's get into some other unbelievable, record-breaking feats that really show how far people are willing to push the limits for Halloween. Yeah, it's not just about getting them big. In 2020, Travis Ginger carved a jack-o'-lantern that weighed over 2,300 pounds. Then you've got Stephen Clark, who carved an entire ton of pumpkins in under 4 hours. But my personal favorite has to be Rick Swenson. This guy hollowed out a giant pumpkin, turned it into a boat, and paddled it for over 25 miles down a river. I mean, come on. The creativity is just on another planet. Okay, so individual achievements are one thing, and they're super impressive. But what happens when thousands of people get together with one big spooky goal? Well, that's when you get these massive monster gatherings. And what I love about this is just the sheer jump in scale. Look at this. Back in 2010, New Jersey set the record for the biggest zombie gathering with just over 4,000 people. A respectable horde, for sure. But then, just 4 years later, Minneapolis didn't just break that record, they completely shattered it with over 15,000 zombies. That's not a pub crawl, my friends. That's a small city of the undead. And it's not just zombies getting in on the fun. In 2022, nearly 1,400 vampires gathered in Whitby, England, the very town that inspired Dracula. You had over 1,600 witches converge on a town in Spain. And in Ireland, the literal birthplace of Halloween, 560 people came together to set the world record for the largest gathering of ghosts. This is absolutely wild. All these zombie walks actually inspired real scientists. In 2009, Canadian researchers created the first ever mathematical model for a real-life zombie attack. They ran a simulation in a city of 500,000 people, and their conclusion? The zombies would take over in just 3 days. And the advice that came from their very serious, very mathematical study? It was simple and pretty blunt. Hit hard and hit often. Suddenly, those fun little zombie walks feel a little more like a training exercise, don't they? So, while breaking records is a ton of fun, the real magic of Halloween might be in its global reach. Because depending on where you are in the world, this holiday looks incredibly different. It morphs into all these unique and fascinating cultural celebrations. Just take Mexico's Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. While a lot of Western Halloween is kind of rooted in being afraid of spirits, Dia de los Muertos is this joyous, vibrant celebration. It's not about being scared. It's about welcoming the spirits of your loved ones back for a visit, with these beautiful altars, sugar skulls, and massive parades. And the variations around the world are they're fascinating. In Japan, Halloween is a huge showcase for mind-blowing cosplay artistry. In Haiti, they hold voodoo festivals right there in the graveyards to honor the spirits. Over in the Philippines, kids go around singing for souls in purgatory, while in Italy, families will actually set an extra place at the dinner table for their ancestors. It just goes to show you how one single idea can blossom into so many different beautiful traditions. All right, now let's get back to the records, but this time, let's focus on the ones that are just delightfully strange. These are the kinds of facts that make you stop and go, wait, somebody actually did that? So this is the price that someone paid in an online auction for 2 tiny vials that were said to contain the exorcised spirits of an old man and a young girl. And get this, an e-cigarette company bought them for charity. I have so many questions about this, and honestly, I'm not sure I want any of the answers. Check this out.
In the year 2000, a woman named Jill Drake set the Guinness World Record for the loudest scream. At 129 decibels, her scream was officially measured as being louder than a jet engine at takeoff. I mean, that's a scream that could probably scare a ghost right back into the afterlife.
And this number, that is the size of the world's largest Ouija board. It was unveiled in Salem, Massachusetts, of course it was, and it was made from 99 sheets of plywood and has a 400-pound planchette. You wouldn't just be contacting a spirit with that thing, you'd be inviting its entire extended family over for dinner. And for the oldest spooky story of them all, get this. The world's oldest recorded ghost isn't even human. It's said to be the spirit of a 220-million-year-old crocodile-like creature called a phytosaur that haunts a place in New Mexico called Ghost Ranch. Now that is an ancient haunting. So from 2,700-pound pumpkins to scientific zombie studies and even ancient reptile ghosts, what's the real takeaway here? It's that Halloween has become this incredible global canvas for community, for competition, and for just pure, unbridled creative expression. You know, all of this just proves that the spirit of Halloween is always evolving. It's getting bigger and stranger and more amazing every single year. Which really just leaves me with one last question for you. After seeing all this, are you inspired to go out there and break a Halloween record yourself? Thanks for watching.